Well, wouldn't you know it? First thing I do when I arrive in Texas, I find something. Yes, I was out getting supplies for my new homestead out here in the great state of Texas. And lo and behold, what did the Target down the street from me have? None other than Giant Mothra. So, I keep saying it every one of these videos, but you know what? Here we are again with another Playmates Monsterverse review. Oh, how many of these have I done so far? Quite a few. With Shimo, Kong, Godzilla, and Scar King. Well, now I am rounding out the giant figures in their own right. So, as I said, found her on the shelf right as I walked into my new local Target. If you've been paying attention to the videos, I've been in the process of moving to Texas from California. And as I am acquiring new furniture and all that fun stuff that you need, I'm walking through my Target, and lo and behold, right there on the shelf, there she was, just staring at me. And considering that I found 95% of all these Playmates that I have reviewed in California, I've yet to see her out there. So, for those who've been kind of belly aching, man, you guys get all the cool stuff. No, we don't. No. Took going to Texas to find her. So, I have reviewed the 6-inch Mothra. That one I had to get off of AliExpress because I've yet to still see that one on store shelves. But Giant, different game. So, as always, let's get digging into this review. Here's the box. Standard Godzilla and Kong. So, and I do apologize. This is a temporary setup until I get everything going. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, let's get this down here. Let's see if we can get there. There we go. Just to give you a good idea. And for those asking before anything else, there's your barcode. Considering I haven't seen these things sold online through Target or Walmart's major retailer, that's how I found Shimo. I found Shimo online through Walmart of all places. Yes, she seems to be the hardest one to come by. So finding this in the wild is quite insane. So, but enough of me gib-gabbing. Let's open this up. Let's see how the figure stands up. And all that fun stuff that comes with these reviews. All right, here she is out of the case. Doing a little pan here. So you have 5 pieces. Let's zoom out a little bit here. All right, so much like the 6-inch one, her wings are pretty much stickers on here, and these are, as you can tell, yeah, they are not the best. So I can see these being an issue. Big thing is going to be fading, stickiness. There's a lot of air bubbles in that wing alone. This one, same thing. Now I get you want to go for detailing, so you got to keep costs down. So yes, a sticker makes sense. But look at this. This is how this came. This is all wrapped out like this. So this thing's eventually going to fall off. This was haphazardly put on. I'm not even going to pull it off and fix it. But so she has a stand, just an acrylic plastic stand. Has a little bit of a knob right there, and then here is the figure itself. A bit better than the 6-inch one, much better than that 3-inch little guy. But as you can see, let me zoom in here a little bit, get it closer. So as you can see, the paint of all of them, this is probably the most haphazardly painted Mattel figure I have seen thus far. So the shading's okay. So stickers on the inner wings, they have full mobility. So let's get her completely assembled. Let me see, how do we go here? What are we doing here?
3 hours later.
All right, after a little bit of a struggle, shockingly, I got her large wings in, so let me get this back here. Let me pull out just a little bit to give you a good size. You see the whole thing. So the wings are pretty long. I would say these things are about 12 inches across. So that is where the bulk of her actually is. So there you go. So the bottom wings have movement, and actually on this ball, so they can, let me get that out of my way. So they can turn, so you can get a little bit of that. The back wings are pretty much up and down on this ball joint, as you can see here. So no movement in the head. There's movement in the arms and the feet. So there you go. There she is in all of her plastic glory. Now, there's the stand. So here's the hole. And there we go. Let me get down here a little bit. So, this is Giant Mothra. Yeah, so for $24.99, which is what I paid for this, it's a Playmates, you know. As I've said with many of these reviews of these figures, these are kids' toys at the end of the day. So this is built to be played with by a kid, by a child, ages 5 to 10. Now, both Bandai through SH Monster Arts and I believe Hiya might have done one already. So for the high-end collectors, there's versions out there for you guys. This, on the other hand, if you can't afford those and you want something kind of big, because I got a feeling outside of this Star Ace Mothra that was revealed a couple of weeks ago, but that is just a big piece that's going to just sit on your shelf, much like an X Plus. That is your best bet. So, would I recommend this for a kid? Sure. I do find it's a bit better than the 6-inch one. There is slightly more detail, even though, again, this is Playmates and they didn't quite put the full effort into this thing. The wings alone, they're a little janky, and the stickers mean that this thing is going to fade hard eventually. But if you're just giving it to your kid, you probably don't care. Your kid's gonna have hours and hours of fun with this thing, conjuring, kaiju battles, and whatnot. But if you're a high-end collector, that's up to you. That is the beauty of the free market. You can choose whether or not you want one of these or not. So if you are a stickler for the Playmate stuff, or you do what I did, pick and choose, considering the Playmates thus far have been the only source to get the Monsterverse auxiliary kaiju, you know, technically a tiny behemoth, one eye, down viper, and Tiamat so far. Those are your choices, especially if you want them to go with your view like Bandai's like I do. Beyond that, it's a fine figure. Like I'm just a little disappointed in the wings. The wings were a pain in the butt to put in. They shouldn't be, but they were. But once they're in, those things ain't coming out unless you break it off. So there's no way in heck. I just noticed this. So look, even the paint right there on Mothra's forehead is completely off. They covered up part of her antenna. So yeah, the paint job is below average on this thing. Tiamat and Kong remain the best of these figures so far, at least in the 6-inch line. Of the giant figures, I would say Shimo and Kong are your best bets. Scar King, pretty good too. So the big four, Godzilla is the worst. He has no flexibility whatsoever. Scar King and Kong, you at least get some flexibility. Mothra gives a little bit there, so I would go Kong, Scar King, Shimo, Mothra than Godzilla. But that's just me. So, but yeah, there you go. Now, would I pay more than $24.99 for this? Absolutely not. So if you can find a good deal or you run across it, retail's fine. If you can get a better deal, by all means, go nuts. But this is definitely not worth more than $20 to me. She's pretty big. I mean, in comparison to the other ones, she's a good size half. I mean, here it is in my hand, as you can see. So not too much different than like those big monsters you see like in National Geographics and stuff. But Mothra is a tricky figure to do. Bandai has always had problems with her. I don't think I've really come across a great Mothra. Part of it is display. I will give Playmates credit for giving us the stand. Bandai back in the day used to give us the stand, not anymore. So the stand does help with display purposes. Credit where credit's due on that thing. But beyond that, so-so figure. All right, well, that is my review of Playmates Giant Mothra. I keep saying that I'm done with these things, but you know what? I keep seeing more and more coming out. And the fact that Playmates is pivoting this line to a Monsterverse line means that there's more figures coming out. So stay tuned for more. On that note, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. And if you don't like to download, well, you can always stream us on all of your favorite podcast streamers, including Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you might find better podcasts. We're also on social media. Follow us. Keep up with the up-to-date news, including, as of recording this video, Wonderfest was going on in Japan, so a lot of fun stuff was revealed. You can find us on X, Instagram, Facebook.com. And hey, if you like this channel, if you like what you see, maybe give us a little click, maybe a little subscribe. Not telling you what to do. It's a free country. Do whatever the heck you want. But we'd appreciate it. So, with that, that'll wrap up this edition of the Koffers. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.